At its foundation, the creation of fine wine is said to be like a romantic love story, and we are honored to bring you just such a story today as we introduce you to Herb Lamb Vineyards. Well, thank you for joining us here today, Jennifer, in this beautiful location.
Gorgeous day. We're really lucky that this Indian summer has continued all of November. It's fantastic.
Yes, it's gorgeous. So I want to start with your story. I love your story. Tell me how it all began. I understand you first met your husband in college.
I met Herb at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. We were both students there. He was getting a dirt degree, he fondly calls it, a soils scientist. And I was ag, and I finally got an education, ag education, a teaching credential. And because he was born and raised in Napa Valley, it was just a no-brainer to come back here and start to work in the vineyard.
So when did you first find your vineyard that you wanted to invest in? Because you started also as grape growers, correct?
We were just very lucky to find this little piece of property. It's only 7.5 acres here in the foothills of Howell Mountain. And I don't know what Herb saw in it. It was a very wet October day, and he came up and said, yeah, we're gonna get this. And so here we are. Wow. We planted in '88. The first little crop we had was '91. And we went to our friends, the Allen brothers at Sequoia Grove. And they said, it would be great. We'd love to support you and purchase your first Cabernet fruit, but it would get lost because we only had a couple tons at that point. But we were very lucky to be introduced to their assistant winemaker, Michael Trujillo, who was just starting to make his own brand, Carl Lawrence. The next year, Ann Colgan came with her husband, Fred Schrader, and their winemaker, Helen Turley. And Helen, rightfully, I mean, I have all the respect in the world for her finding the best rows here, chose 13 rows in the middle of this vineyard for the signature Colgan label.
So you were grape growers for a long time. What made you take the plunge into developing your own wine brand?
There's a lot of peer pressure. A lot of our friends have their own vineyards, make their own brands, and they kept saying, my gosh, what are you doing? You know, Colgan's getting $300, $400, $500 off her bottles, which are tremendous, from your vineyard. Why aren't you doing it? And it was the last thing I think either of us wanted. We each had full-time jobs. We had little kids. You know, we were involved in the community and PTA and all sorts of things. And when we approached Mike about it, he was just so enthusiastic. He was so proud to have been asked, and it just took off. And it was just a gift to be able to say, okay, this is where we're going from now on, and change jobs and go forward, and it's been great fun.
Your production is so small, and it is so hard to get an allocation of your wine. What made you join Cellar Angels to offer this to our wine club, if you will?
I've been following Cellar Angels for many, many years, and I just love what they are doing. And finally this moment came, and I said, yes, I've got some wine. I've got a little bit I can offer you. So we're really pleased to offer our 2011 HL Vineyards Cabernet Sauvignon. And there's only a few cases left. You can imagine, you know, if you only make 400 cases. And having just tasted it with winemaker Mike Trujillo and a couple other winemakers, we were all just flabbergasted at how beautifully it is maturing. So I'm very happy to share it with Cellar Angels and with all of the nonprofits that they support.
Well, thank you for having us.
Great.
It's an honor, seriously.
To me as well.
Thank you. Wine enthusiasts and collectors worldwide covet an allocation of wine from Herb Lamb Vineyards, and now the rare opportunity is yours. So don't delay, and thank you for your support.